Welcome to County Magazine, a chance to find out what's new across Fairfax County. I'm Brian Ashby. On this edition, we'll meet a loving family that doubled in size thanks to its own generosity and the Department of Family Services. And we'll take a ride on the Connector bus system, now celebrating 40 years of bringing the county together. Plus, buckle up and ride along for a day in the life of an inspector from the Communications Policy and Regulation Division. The Fairfax County Department of Family Services offers a robust foster care and adoption program, placing children in need of domestic stability with loving families. Meet the Johnsons, a family of 4 who opened their hearts and home to 4 brothers with special needs, bringing much-needed love, care, and opportunity into their young lives. Here's more.
Oh.
When you meet them, you fall in love with them. Like, they're awesome kids who just deserve a chance.
If they're going to be in our household, they're going to be in our household forever. So if we were in it, we just decided collectively as a family. It was December 26, 2022. And we got a letter in the mail from DFS. Just letting us know about Makai, Montesi, Majestic, and Madden, and how they were placed in foster care in November.
When we got the letter, it was a shock. You know, our primary goal was to make connection, build a relationship with them.
I met all 4 of them June of 2023.
Even at that point, we had no clue of foster care, adoption. I think at that point it was more so like I was talking to my mom, my sister, some of my other family members about, you know, what's going on, because nobody had talked to their father, which is my cousin Carlos. We didn't know basically anything about the situation. And then when we met them is when we realized they were 4 kids in 3 different foster homes, and the twins were autistic and they had been kicked out of foster homes and daycares and really struggling and having a hard time. I think at that point they were 7, 4, 4, and 2, but none of them were potty trained, right? And it was pretty bad. And then they all looked very unhealthy. They'd never been to the doctors. Makai, who should have been in kindergarten, had never started school. It was very concerning. But when we met them, we connected with them instantly. My biological kids connected with them instantly. And from that, we knew like we had to do something.
So Makai came first. All the kids had been visiting during the weekends at this point, by this time. Madden came 2 weeks later, about beginning of October, second week of October. That was a little bit more of a curve because he was so young. He was used to his foster mom. But that was okay after, you know, a week or so, especially with him already knowing us and everybody else. And then the twins, Montesi and Majestic, were last. So about
they were the hardest.
Yeah, they were the hardest to transition, of course. They just needed the most support.
So not only did we have to prepare for them, we also had to educate ourselves on how do we take care of kids that have extra needs. With 6 kids, you're constantly watching and looking. But with the twins, they added an extra level because they were a lot harder to manage.
And then we also needed to map out what was the best school for them. We're still in the process of trying to find them an ABA therapist.
Oh yeah.
That's been a long wait list. House, locking up things, kind of baby-proofing things.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. Making sure fences were locked, kind of just setting things up where they couldn't escape.
When we first came into the picture, they were still looking forward to reunification with their birth parents. And then while the kids were living with us, we were informed that their birth mother had passed away. And then their dad had just, as much as we tried to keep a connection and a relationship there with the dad or any of their mom's family, it just did not work. So Makai is very much an introvert. He's not gonna say too much, but he's gonna run and just play and enjoy life, and that's just how he is. He's just a lovable kid, a lovable individual. But you know, he's carefree, and it's amazing to me because he's been through so much that he can still put a smile on and still be a kid and still like open his heart up to love people. He's a special kid to me. The twins, so let's talk singular here. So Majestic is the younger of the two twins by, I think, 5 minutes.
We call him our genius baby.
Yes.
He's the only one that wears glasses right now, but he's also, we say, the smartest one. If we were going through words, he's the first one to try to sound it out and figure it out or tell me what it is.
He loves school, loves nature, loves learning about different things, so he's awesome. He's awesome. And then Montesi. So Montesi is the most severe. He's autistic and he's nonverbal. He's probably had the most development out of any of the kids. He's talking a lot more. As far as school is concerned, he's learning.
His personality-wise is, he's always happy.
Always.
If he's not happy, then you know he's sick. He loves being outside. He's always the dirtiest when he comes back inside. Always. It drives me nuts. But he's always the most observant. He definitely watches everything you do, and he will do that.
He gives the best hugs.
Oh, he loves
He
hugs.
gives the best hugs.
Where at first he didn't. At first he's like, don't touch me. But
Yeah,
now,
it's so cool now because he'll like squeeze you.
he'll give me a kiss on my cheek. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll do all of that now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's cool. He's like a little angel.
Yeah.
And then the last one is Madden. So Madden is the definition of a boss baby.
goodness.
Madden already shows leadership traits at his young age. He's 4 years old and he's an awesome little kid. He eats like a grown man now. He was one of those ones when he does get nervous letting people in, and I think with him the story is different, right? I mean, this is a 4-year-old kid that had 3 different women that he called mom. So now at the point now where we're finally on the last mom that he's gonna have, right? But for him, he builds connections and he doesn't want to let them go. So at school, he's very clingy with his teacher. And I think that separation issue has gotten to him a little bit, but he's definitely growing. And I think he's learning now that, you know, we're here to stay and the people that we have around him are here to stay. So yeah, he's doing great.
So now all of them are potty trained, thank goodness.
Absolutely.
Everybody's in school, they're flourishing. Everybody's eating
Healthy.
healthy. I think that was the biggest thing, whereas for the twins especially. So November 2022 is when they were placed in custody, and then it was finalized July 23rd, 2025.
That was
my
huge.
goodness, that was hectic.
I think we had 100 people at the courthouse. It
That
was crazy.
That was probably the most hectic thing about the whole situation.
Yes. I tried not to cry. I cried like a baby. But at the end of the day, I was just so excited for them. They got to sit up there and sign. And, you know, before the adoption ceremony, it was after, Makai said to me, like, so now it's official, like, you're our dad. And I was like, yeah, absolutely, man. But, you know, no matter what, like, I've always been that guy for you, man. Whatever you need from me, I got you. And he was just like, you know, at the end of the day, I'm so happy. I mean, it's been awesome.
It was a great day. Then we went to Dave & Buster's afterwards, celebrated. They loved it. They loved it being about them.
I would say the best part too is it was so much support, but not just from like family and friends.
All the workers, everyone showed up to the adoption ceremony. Everybody was crying and just so happy to be there.
These people are blessings. So many good people. But I mean, I think the one that resonated with me the most, Miss Mary, who was the kid's casa. After the adoption ceremony, she cried. She was just thankful to see that these 4 kids had landed in a great spot and they got to all stay together and grow up together and be loved and be surrounded by so many people. And it was really touching.
They played a definite part always, even when we went from foster parent to like adoption side of things, it was a clear communication. So it was a smooth transition there.
You know, I would hope anybody who's looking to foster or adopt can understand like the role you would play would be a huge role. It's a unselfish role that can really make a difference and an impact in somebody's life.
I would just say trust the process. It's a process. It may be a year, maybe a couple months, but just do it. It's the best thing and it's the best feeling to see a little kid that needed someone, even a hug, even a meal. You'll never know what little thing or what impact you can have and put a smile on somebody's face. And just do it.
In 1985, an idea was born to connect the 4 corners of Fairfax County with an affordable, efficient, and flexible public transportation option. 40 years later, Fairfax Connector has evolved into one of the most expansive and convenient public transportation services in any local jurisdiction. And the future of Connector looks even brighter. Take a look.
In 1985, a bold vision came to life. A new bus service designed by Fairfax County took its first trip, and with it, the Fairfax Connector was born. What started as a handful of routes has become the largest local bus system in Northern Virginia, serving over 26,000 daily riders across 93 routes. The 1980s brought rapid growth in Fairfax County, and with it, a need for affordable, accessible public transportation. The Fairfax Connector was designed to meet that need and go further. Buses ran from neighborhoods to metro, from schools to shopping centers, offering flexibility and freedom for thousands of residents. In the 90s and 2000s, the Connector grew, and so did its role in the community. New park and ride lots made commutes easier. Holiday service hours gave families a way to travel on their most important days. School partnerships meant students had a safe, reliable ride. Behind every route, every stop is a team.
You have to love to do it. Driving is not for everyone. This is a big responsibility. You are hauling, you are carrying people, and they want you to get from A to B safe, okay? Safety first, schedule second, always will be that way. Because you want to go home safe to your family, they want to go home safe to theirs.
Maintenance crews keep buses running through rain and snow. Dispatchers, planners, and operators work hard to make sure your route is ready every day.
40 years is a long time in the transit business. We have a lot of people in the past and in the present that have worked really hard to make this happen. Transit is very difficult. A lot of times people think about transit, they just see the buses outside, but there are a lot of maintenance activities, from the washing of the buses, servicing, maintenance, all year. So I think transit is actually a lot, and a lot of people work really hard to make out and have the bus ready in service.
And at the Connector store, transit information and support are just a visit away. Over the years, Fairfax Connector has embraced change and technology. Smart Trip and Smart Trip Plus have streamlined fare payments. Bus Tracker lets riders see exactly when their bus will arrive. And each new innovation puts your safety and comfort first for a smoother ride every time.
Even at 10 years old, looking at these incredible machines like most 10-year-old boys do, look at big motorized equipment and get excited, and thought, wow, that's really cool that we have city buses as we knew them here in our own neighborhood on the Route 1 corridor. And who would have ever dreamed that 40 years later we'd have such a sophisticated, complete network like we have now.
Through all the changing times, Connector staff kept rolling. Essential workers rode with us. Families stayed connected, and the commitment to public service never stopped.
How do we make the system better? I have a system map on my wall, and I sit there every day and I think, how do I make it better? Where do people need to get to? And how do I can do that within the resources that I have? Because my background is in economics, I'm always looking at the value of what we're providing compared to what it actually costs. And that value is way higher than what it actually costs, especially to the people who need it.
For 40 years, you've trusted us to take you where you need to go, and every mile has been a shared journey. From the roads behind us to the roads ahead. Fairfax Connector. Here's to the journey together.
Here's a typical day in the life of a foster parent in Fairfax County. There are hundreds of kids who need to stay in a loving home until they can safely return to their own families. Every day begins with something simple but important: a good breakfast and a steady routine. structure helps children feel safe, cared for, and ready for the day ahead.
I'm sure you're gonna have an amazing time.
When it's time for school, I make sure to pack their favorite lunch that shows them they are seen, valued, and remembered. After school, it's about listening, celebrating small victories with praise, helps build their confidence, and reminds them that every step forward matters. I focus on providing consistency and encouragement, really understanding what matters to them. That's when we catch up, talk about school, and share the little details of their day. Those simple moments become the foundation for connection.
I know I feel a little angst, but I want you to know that she's excited to see you and you're excited to see her, so it's gonna be all right.
We have a family visit today, an important step in supporting reunification. I prepare for all possibilities, including disappointment, and how to talk about it with them. I stay engaged, ready to help if they feel sad, reminding them nothing is wrong with them, but I guide them through their feelings. Getting outside together helps too. Today was a great day for a bike ride.
All right, and you don't mean relax the pedal, but you can use your brakes if you feel like you're going too fast. We're gonna slow down, we're gonna go all the way around and turn.
Children need to know I'll always be there for them. And we always end on a positive note, celebrating the good.
Are we ready to eat?
Dinner and nighttime are all about getting ready for tomorrow. I check the calendar for any upcoming appointments. Staying organized takes a lot of energy and time, and I lean on my support circle and DFS to keep me grounded and remind me I'm not alone.
More money, just keep paying me, buddy.
Tonight is game night. I even got a chance to teach him about property ownership. This is our time to recharge. This is one of the greatest things you can do. And Fairfax County wants to hear from you. You can send the program an email at beafosterparent@fairfaxcounty.gov, call 703-324-7639, or you can fill out the foster parent interest form by scanning the QR code on the screen. You can be a foster parent too.
The Communications Policy and Regulation Division, or CPRD, oversees and enforces the county's cable communication policies. When a resident has a complaint or other cable communications issue, CPRD dispatches an inspector to check it out. Join one of these inspectors, Juan, for a day in the field as he responds to some of the most common issues.
Communications Policy and Regulation Division oversees cable communications in the county. We have a team of inspectors who inspect cable construction and plant. If people see low-hanging lines or broken pedestals in their front yards, let's say, they can call us. We send out an inspector to write it up and get the company to fix it. To see how this works out in practice, let's follow one of our inspectors as he answers real consumer complaints in the field.
So before we head out of the office, we check all complaints, we send them to the phone, and then we start our day. Each one has the address, the type of complaint, and any notes for the resident. That way, I can plan my route and handle everything efficiently once I'm out in the field. No 2 days are always the same. Sometimes we go to a single neighborhood and find all kinds of complaints, and other times we have to be all over the county. We're here at Full Church. The complaint is about hanging wires, and we're gonna take a look at now. So you can see here, you have some service cables that are hanging down and going along the fence. They should be up, nothing should be touching the ground. As you can see, these are service cables going into the homeowners' houses, and what they're concerned that this could be power cable, which they're not, and they're within safety code violation. They're too low, one is hanging in the ground, the other one is really low. Another problem we found here is this pole, which is leaning forward, and the homeowners are concerned that it could fall down. What we have to do now is contact the utility companies to see who it belongs to. And in order to do that, we got to get the utilities to come here and check the pole, and then they will come over and bring their own inspectors and check the pole. Most residents don't know that we're here as a resource. They only call us when they have problems. But the reality is, we are here for them to solve whatever issues they have in the community. Now we're going to move on to another location, and the complaint is a broken pedestal. Now what we have here is the pedestal and the vault, and you can see they're both damaged and unsecure and exposed cables. So we will have to get with the utilities and do a citation for both of them to fix the problem. Here we find a communication pedestal. As you can see, it's damaged right here, and you have all the cables exposed in the common area. That's why a lot of the residents will call us to have them fixed. We will have to get a hold of the utility company, write them a citation to have them come and fix it. So here we find another service provider that is what's called the vault, and the issue here is it's cracked, it's unsecure, and as you can see, there is a hole here, and anybody, especially a kid, can step on this, and it's a safety hazard. So we got to get within, write a citation, have them come and fix this issue. After each location, we use an app to create a citation, and we will include the pictures of the violations, send them to the service providers, and we will work with them to resolve the violation. We don't just come out when someone files a complaint. Our inspectors are out of the community regularly, driving around and checking things to make sure everything looks good and the neighborhood stays safe. We also make sure that residents have access to the right services. We just showed you a little bit of what we do for you guys every day. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that you and the community are happy and safe.
I'm proud of the work our inspectors do every day to protect consumers in the county. Our mission at CPRD is to make sure that consumers have a voice and that that voice is heard. If you ever have a problem, don't hesitate to contact us. We're here to help keep you protected and informed.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of County Magazine. Thanks for joining me. Remember, there are countless ways to get involved in your community and make Fairfax County an even better place to live, work, and play. And one of the best ways is to be a good neighbor. Check in with the people who live in your community this holiday season and find a place to lend a hand. I'm Brian Ashby, and we'll see you next year on County Magazine.